think creativity is really important, even for just like, say, having the eye for aesthetics or being able to pick out and define, like, if somebody says, "Hey, I want my lips this way," and can you do it? Well, we can probably do it, but can we do it well? Being able to have really good technique and a creative eye and a very aesthetic eye for what you're doing is very important.
Welcome to the Beauty Talk podcast, where we feature how the best medical practitioners help their patients to look better, younger, and healthier. Now, enjoy the show, and here's your host.
Daniel Gao here. I'm the host of Beauty Talk. We feature the top medical practitioners in health and beauty, both inside and out. I have Sarah Sequoia, the founder of Sequoia Infusion and Aesthetics. She's a U.S. Navy veteran and former dental hygienist, and her background in nursing is in emergency and perioperative departments and infusion therapy. She's combined that experience with her passion for aesthetics and wellness. She specializes in advanced treatments like injectables, such as Botox and hyaluronic filler, PDO threads, GLP-1s, IV hydration, and vitamin therapy to help her patients look and feel their very best. What she's most proud of is creating a space where people feel comfortable, cared for, and confident in their own skin. So Sarah, welcome and glad to have you here.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, so Sarah, how did you first get interested in medicine? Let's start there.
I come from, my mom's a nurse. She's in her mid 70s and still working
Oh,
as a
wow.
nurse. I've always been told you should be a nurse, you should be a nurse. So I always tried everything else to not do exactly what my mom told me to do. Um, so I spent 4 years in the Navy, and then I was like, I was a dental assistant for pretty much my older teen years and through my lower 20s. And I was like, I was pretty good at that, so I should just be a dental hygienist. It'll be easy. So I did that for several years until my back and body just decided I needed to do something else. So
Mhm.
it made sense to go into nursing. There's so many modalities that you can do. I figured I wouldn't get bored.
Mhm.
And I figured I always ask a nurse things. I should know what nurses know. So
Got
here
it.
I am.
Okay, and then how did you make that transition then into aesthetics, from nursing into aesthetics?
Yeah, I really wanted to start my own business. My partner and I were like, what can we do? We're avid pickleball players, and we're like, let's build something so we can just focus on having a pickleball area to play, and because there's nothing really big around our area,
Mhm.
but the need's there. And we looked at it, and it was just like very big.
Hmm.
So I was like, well, aesthetics is something that I can do. I was a dental hygienist for so long that I was like, pain, jaw pain, headaches, pain relief. Um, it kind of all connects together. And the aesthetics is kind of just the cherry on top for that. I'm always happy to do Botox for people who want to have smooth skin, but I really like doing aesthetics for the health aspect of it as well.
Okay, so you're mixing really that background in nursing, all those different backgrounds that you had, and then combining it with the aesthetic side of it. So the wellness
Yeah.
aesthetics.
Yeah, I just launched wellness in July.
Mm,
So I'm, just getting started. I've really been moving this business for about 6 months.
okay.
Um, we started in January, and I really launched like the end of March
Mm,
um, to get it going. And then July came, and we started wellness, doing the GLP-1 shots. Um, and that is just absolutely blown up. But the wellness aspect of it is what I really love. And aesthetics is like the cherry on top, the
yeah.
bonus.
Okay.
Um,
Now, when it comes to the treatments that you provide, the one thing I found very interesting, I found out about you on the Botox side, you mentioned you do it for helping them get the smoother skin, but you also use it for relieving headaches and jaw pain.
yeah.
I want to dive deeper into that because I've never heard of, I think most people have never heard of using Botox to relieve headaches and jaw pain. I think it's just a more of a, hey, I want to freeze my face or paralyze my face so that I get rid of the wrinkles. But
Right.
you dive deeper into that, like how do you use Botox to fix those issues?
Okay. Yes. So the bonus of treating muscles that are causing pain is that you get the aesthetic benefit,
Hmm.
but you can treat muscles that you aren't getting aesthetic benefit to, like the splenus capitis, your traps, your SCM. Um, all those muscles can be also put to sleep to help relieve neck pain, back pain, and headaches.
Oh wow. So even neck pain and back pain, it could be used for that.
Hmm.
Wow. I'm curious, why do you think it hasn't been used to relieve the pain? Like, is it something that's just very unique or like because I
It
think
does, it is used.
okay.
It's just not super common and it's very expensive.
Mm,
To put a big muscle to sleep, you need a kind of a lot.
okay.
So it gets pretty expensive on in that realm. Even just to treat like one side of your jaw, you need 20 units of Botox, and
Mhm.
prices can be anywhere from $10 to $25 a unit. So
Mhm. Okay.
when you add that up, it
Yeah.
gets pretty spendy.
Okay, got it. Now, I know with Botox, usually that's going to last you anywhere between 3 to 4 months. Is it the same as far as relieving headaches? Like if you
Yeah,
put it in, it'll relieve your headaches for 3 to 4 months.
absolutely.
Oh wow. Well, maybe at
Hmm.
that point it's maybe not as expensive if they don't have to deal with the pain anymore.
That's true. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I definitely am like, hey, skip that coffee and
Yeah.
get your Botox
There
because
you go. There you go. Okay.
who
Now
wants the headache?
I know, seriously, it's like instead of taking a Tylenol or just dealing with, I would imagine a lot of people just deal with the pain because
Yeah,
like,
a
what are you
lot.
going to
And
do?
chronic headaches are so prevalent. I
Hmm.
mean, so many people have chronic headaches and don't realize that. And you can't treat every headache with Botox, but like migraines, probably not going to help a lot unless they stem from a muscle thing.
I see. So,
But
mhm,
but tension headaches and stress headaches, those types of things, or if you're clenching your jaw, then
mhm.
you'll definitely can get some relief.
Okay. And I think that, well, I don't know, you tell me on this one, as far as when people come in, they have headaches, they have jaw pain. I'm not sure if many people know whether it's a tension headache or if it's from something else. But would you say like kind of the best way to do is that if you're suffering from headaches, talk to your provider and just be like, hey, is this something that I can fix with Botox or not? And just figure it out from there. Is that a good place to
Yeah.
start?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I when I do an exam on somebody, I can definitely help pinpoint whether they're having, pain and it's a pinpoint or it's radiating or, where it's coming from or stemming from versus, oh, I get a migraine and I have aura and that's all. That's my only symptom.
Mhm.
Well, we probably can't help you there.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's interesting at least that this is an option for people that if they do have those headaches, jaw pain, back pain, neck pain, if it does come from the muscle, if it's from tension, then Botox
Yeah.
could be a, a good solution for them instead of just popping pills or just dealing with it.
Yeah, and it's a pretty easy exam too. I mean, it's a trigger point exam. I just dig in and we figure out, if I push here, does it hurt here or here? Or if I push here,
Mm.
does it send pain here or down into your shoulder? So
Mhm.
there's lots of ways to just tell like where it's stemming from and where it's going um, to be able to relieve some of that.
Okay. Now, I also know that you do PDO threads as well. So, is
Yes,
that something that could you explain like what is PDO threads and really what's the
sure.
benefits of it?
Yeah, I always forget the actual name of PD, like what the
Like
PD stands for.
polydialstic something,
Polydioxone
something like that.
threads.
Uh-huh.
So essentially, it's a suture material.
Mhm.
So everybody knows that what a suture is, and it's, you get stitched up with sutures if you get a big cut or in surgeries. So that's where they discovered that this works. Um, It is in as a catheter, so it's a needle,
Mhm.
just like you would get an IV, that type of needle, but it's very, very thin. The suture material runs through it. I put it in, just under the skin and twist it, take the needle part out and the suture remains. Now,
Mm,
that is going to cause your body to create its own collagen. And your body wouldn't have wanted to do that just randomly. You have to cause damage and or leave something in there that's going to biostimulate the collagen.
okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I know it's also been compared to like a non-surgical facelift. So can you talk a little bit about that? Because you mentioned as far as like repairing the collagen, but also is it more for like kind of lifting the face and restoring collagen? Or like in what situations would you really want to use this treatment?
So there are differences in PDO threads. There are lifting threads, there are smooth threads, there are twisted threads. It's a huge thing like on TikTok. I try to stay off the
Yeah.
TikTok, but you'll see all these people with like all these like pink things sticking out of their face and they've got the needles in there.
Mhm,
Those are more than likely smooth or twisted threads. Um, you shouldn't have to use that many to get your result. It's
mhm,
kind of crazy when you see like 100 threads in their face. But there are lifting ones too. It's definitely a lot more. Um, I don't do lifting threads,
mm,
but you put it in with a cannula and then essentially rub the skin in the direction that the barbs are going to do a non-surgical facelift. It's pretty incredible. I'm not trained to do that.
mhm.
I could be,
Yeah.
but right now I'm just focusing on the things that are more cost effective and not so risky
Okay.
and invasive. It's
Mhm,
still kind of invasive
mhm,
to do the lifting threads. It's 100% reasonable and way less invasive than getting a facelift.
mm.
But the results are pretty incredible. But I've
Okay.
also seen some results that are like, oh,
Yeah.
I hope I didn't do that, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah. So for the threadless that you do, then I'm assuming that you're using the smoother threads then?
I do. I use
Okay.
smooth threads.
And so for the smooth threads, what does that do? Is it more like, is it building volume? Is it making like better skin complexion? Like kind of what's the end
Yeah.
result of what you do with the PDO threads?
So, a lot of ways, or an easy way to kind of say what it does is to look at somebody who has acne scarring.
Mm,
Um, that's a really common thing. So you're gonna put this thread in underneath where these acne scars are, which are scar tissue, and your body is going to produce collagen to smooth the texture of your skin and build in a little bit of volume. So you're going to get tightening, you're going to get smoothing, and you can get volume
mm,
with just by putting a thread under an area that has acne. A lot of people are doing their under chins, the lines. You can do lines in your forehead. You can do a lot with a smooth thread. It's pretty incredible.
okay. And then when they do this treatment, about how long does the treatment last for?
Um, Up to 18 months. You
Wow.
usually are getting a treatment every 4 to 6 weeks for 3 treatments,
Hmm.
and then you're getting the 14 to 18 month longevity on it.
Okay. And how would you compare this to Botox or filler? Like, if no one's ever heard of PDO threads, they're used to getting the injectables. What
Yeah.
would, I guess, be the situation where they'd want to consider or maybe move over to it? And in what situations would should they just stay on the injectables?
I mean, they're definitely, you can do both.
Hmm.
If you want really great results,
Hmm.
both are amazing. Kind of it's more like a microneedling situation to where you would do one or the other, but you can also do both with that.
Hmm.
And there's no reason that you couldn't. So moving over to Botox to freeze or, paralyze that muscle is one thing, but the longer lasting thing would be like the PDO or the microneedling, where your own body is creating collagen and elastin to create the smoother skin.
Okay. And what would you say is some of the misconceptions or myths that you hear the most when it comes to threads?
I that you need more.
Mm.
More is not always the answer.
Hmm.
I've seen just some crazy pictures with so many threads in, and it's like, okay,
Just
well,
make my entire face a thread.
yeah, for real. I've seen those pictures, and it's like, oh, wow, I don't know really what the benefit of that is versus just being really precise and knowing what your product is going to give you versus put a ton in there and hope for the best.
So what's really gonna be that defining factor of how many, because it sounds like it depends on how many threads that people need. Sometimes they need only a few, sometimes they may need a little bit more. But what's going to be really that defining factor of how many threads they need?
Skin texture, your goal. If you just want to smooth things out or you're working on a scar or something like that, that's gonna make it to where you're like, okay, well, we are gonna treat this with 5 threads, just throwing out a number there. Um, and seeing where you get, in 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, yeah, we're getting good results. Let's do 5 more threads there.
Mm,
Um, so depending on, what kind of result you're looking for, what you want out of it, depends on how aggressive you are with your threads. I wouldn't put more than, like 10 in a cheek at the
okay.
most, you
On
know.
one side, 10 on one side.
On one side, yeah.
Okay.
But
So 10's a
typically
lot.
just a couple is okay.
Okay. Got it. So it can actually fix scars then? Like you can get rid of scars
Mhm.
with this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Acne
because your
scars
body
also?
from the inside out is causing collagen to come in. You're breaking, so by inserting the needle,
Mhm.
you're breaking up that scar tissue, and then you're leaving behind this PDO thread, which is going to have your body go, oh yeah, let's create collagen and elastin there in skin that has been scarred for so long. You can't do a lot with it.
Mhm.
And your body just made the scar.
Okay. So if you have the scars, then PDO threads could be a good way to basically break it up, and then I guess it's almost like rebuilding it from new.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, wow. Okay. So now let's say somebody's looking to get this done and they're trying to figure out which provider to go to. What would be your most important piece of advice that you would give to someone who's they're looking for a provider, they don't know who to go to, like they're interested in the treatment, but they're looking for someone who's obviously good. Like what would you
Yeah.
recommend to that person?
Training is really important. Uh, and I'd say training and the product are really important. You want things that are FDA cleared.
Mm,
You can get threads off the internet all day long
mhm,
for really cheap. But that doesn't make them good.
mhm.
So having an FDA cleared thread, I think, is really important. If I'm going to put something into my body, in my face.
Yep.
So quality of your thread and having somebody who's trained to do it.
Okay. And on the flip side of that, what would you say is maybe some red flags that people should keep an eye out for? About if they see something, they hear something, they notice something, and it's like that red flag. Maybe I should look somewhere else.
Um, Literally just Googling the product.
Mhm.
If you can find it and you can order it yourself, it's not the product that you want.
Oh, interesting. So,
Um,
so the threads that you're getting, you can only get it because you're a medical practice.
yeah,
Ah, okay, that's a good one. That's
definitely.
hmm
So yeah, and then you'll see if they're FDA cleared
hmm
as well. And there aren't very many that are.
mm,
So
okay.
just having a good product, I wouldn't want to provide a service or a product with my name and my reputation on it that wasn't quality and safe.
Mm,
So safety is a big thing with any of these procedures.
mhm.
And if it's not safe, I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
that's a good plan. It's a good way to look
Yeah.
at it, especially if
Red
it's medical
flags. I
already.
mean, red flags would be product that's not great, right? And
Yeah.
also people who are promising more than, if it looks too good to be true, it may be
Mhm.
too good to be true.
Okay. So it's a good procedure, but it's not a miracle.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good way to approach it. Now, I'm curious, Sarah, when it comes to creativity, how important do you think creativity is in what you do? Because when people look at medicine, it's there's a process, there's a protocol in place, so you don't kill somebody.
Sure.
But how important do you think creativity is in what you do, or is it even a place for?
Um, I think creativity is really important. Even for just like say having the eye for aesthetics or um being able to pick out and define like if somebody says, "Hey, I want my lips this way." And can you do it? Well, we can probably do it, but can we do it well? You know?
Mm,
So being able to have really good technique and a creative eye and a very aesthetic eye for what you're doing is very important.
mm, okay. So having that artistry, would you say it would be an important skill? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
okay.
Balance. I
Mhm,
mean, there's a lot of things in people's faces, just for example, that you are looking at, like where their eyes are, how deep set an eye is, cheekbones, lips, lines on the face. Those are all things you take into consideration because you can change this by touching this
mm,
and doing that. So it all kind of it's all connected and you can really change somebody's appearance in a way that they didn't want
mm.
by being kind of careless and or not having that eye that is required to do this job.
Okay. So it also seems like you're implying that even though someone may have the good technique, if they don't have the artistic eye, they may not get the ideal results.
Definitely.
Okay. Interesting. Now, sorry, I'm sorry that you've had some challenging cases over the years in your experience. Is there maybe one story that comes to mind that is just very memorable or just very tough and how you're able to get them a successful outcome in the end?
I really feel like facial balancing is really people are after it. They want their jaw lines and their chins and their eyes to look in a certain way. Um, and those aesthetic challenges are always going to be there. Um, but I really like helping people with their chronic pain, um, things that they didn't realize that they could fix and or just mend or even make tolerable when they didn't know that there was an option for that. Um, so yeah, I mean, it can be as simple as like acne scars. I've had these since I was 10. I had this all the way through and I'm in my 30s. Things like that where it's like, wow, we can do something about this.
Hmm.
You don't have to live with it if you don't want to.
Hmm.
So, I'm a real big proponent. I really like when people are like, I don't want to look fake, but I want to just have a glow up. And I'm like, girl, I got you. It's like we can do these things and just make you feel better in your skin. And those are the cases that I really like.
Okay. And those are really, I think it's very interesting you bring those up because it's the situation where people don't want to maximize their vanity or their looks. It's just about, hey, I just want to look good. I just want to
Yeah, I
be
just want to
confident.
feel good.
Yeah.
And that's different for everybody, right? So it's like, yeah, I've had this scar on my face forever, but I don't care.
Hmm.
And that's fine. But they're like, but this one eye, and I'm like, well, okay, let's fix the thing that you want, and then
Hmm.
maybe you'll get the benefit, all the way around.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Now, Sarah, where do you think the future of aesthetics is going?
Oh man, it's growing so quickly, and there are so many new things coming um that it's going to be like a roller coaster. Hang on and hope you get through it.
Hmm.
I feel like I do some really basic things in my practice that are um kind of the nuts and bolts of it. And every time I add something, like I just added the PDO threads, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
I should have done this sooner.
Hmm.
But there's always going to be something new and exciting, and why haven't we been doing this all along?
Hmm.
So it's the possibilities are endless for sure.
And speaking of your practice, what is your vision for your practice, Sequoia Infusion and Aesthetic?
Hmm. Um, I want to be able to just go to work and just do me. I want to be busy, but I don't want to be where it's like, oh man, it's going to take forever to get you in.
Mm.
Um, so I want to be in a healthy place with, my investment, but I also don't want it to be so big that like I have to hire people. I kind of just want it to be me and move at a steady pace.
Yeah, I get you. Okay. Well, Sarah, I do have one last question for you, but before I ask it, I do want to point people to your website at sequoiaaesthetics.com. Now, the last question I have for you is what does beauty mean to you?
Mm. Beauty means to me, just loving yourself. Yeah, just feeling good.
Well, short and simple. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
My tagline is ready, set, glow.
That's
So,
nice. I like that one.
yeah, I feel like as long as you feel good,
Mhm.
and if there's anything I can do to help you feel good, like, let's do that.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Sharing her expertise. So, Sarah, where can people contact you in your practice?
You can always get a hold of me on my website. My phone number is there. I'm a phone call away. I'd never answer my phone. So if it's important, leave me a message, and or text me. I get a lot of really weird phone calls these days. So,
Mhm.
always online. You can inquire and get to my booking site that way, and always with a text message and or leaving me a voicemail.
Got it. Well, Sarah, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your message, and thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you, Daniel.